What'd you bring me this morning? I slid sideways the whole way and I went right down the other side. Today is not that day. Found a pretty good deal on a gently used grapple bucket. What'd you bring me this morning? It's a big one, Mira. Good girl. Wanna check out the goats? Hey guys. Yeah, yeah. Aren't you lucky? Heck's bigger than you are. Oh, did she lick your head? Should we go look at the kids? You like the little ones better than the big ones? She didn't like the big goats very much. Yeah, these ones are better. Badger, she's fine. I don't need your watchful eye. Good morning. Okay, buckle up because this is going to be a lot of information that you'll probably get sick of hearing me talk. I have suffered from analysis paralysis all morning. I sit down at the beginning of the week and I figure out my schedule for the whole week based on my work schedule, what we have going on in our personal lives, the weather, when and if my husband's going to be home at all. I set up a pretty good plan. The weather has gone from sub-zero to 50 degrees in a matter of days. And I have a dog rubbing on me, so if you see something weird going on down here. It was supposed to rain all day today. So my plan was to maybe get a few things set up and then tomorrow try to get the cattle cleaned out and some of the gates moved around and sort into breeding groups. And since it's not raining, I'm gonna change all my plans and try to get that all done today and sort for breeding, because I think I can get the skid loader to the manure pile, and I will probably have limited trips because it'll just get too muddy and I'll end up getting stuck. And it's not worth me falling off the embankment over there with the skid loader. So I can probably get a couple loads up to the manure pile this way, and I can probably get a couple up that way. So I want to get the cattle cleaned out and get that bedded down. I want to get the yard scraped out here so I can get all these gates moved. So I'm going to take these gates back a notch to about here. And then I'm going to need to use gates to set up over there. I'm only going to end up sorting into 3 breeding groups for this breeding. I'm going to let Buck and Lark sit this one out. Lark is the one that has just been dealing with some health issues since September. We still don't know what's wrong, but he's looking better. He's gaining condition. It's just slowly. And Buck is getting older, and while he's still like my old dependable, he has a lot of daughters in my herd, and he sired I think most of the kids in the last breeding. So I'm gonna let them 2 sit out, and I'm gonna work on putting a little bit of body condition on both of them. And then I'm gonna use my young little brown buckling, and then my yearling black-headed traditional, and then I have one that he's like a 1.5 years old. I want to be able to evaluate a pretty good sample of his kids this year, so he is breeding the majority of the does. Where were you? Are you and Mira exploring? Okay, get off me, you're gross. Well, I absolutely cannot clean out the cattle. I cleaned up around the edges over there, and I went up with my first bucket full of manure, and I slid sideways the whole way, and I went right down the other side. I ended up dumping that bucket of manure over here. So I think what I'm gonna do is take all these gates apart, lock all the goats in so that I can move stuff around, and then scrape all of this manure in the yard on this side and the outside from those bedding packs, and just push it up to that wall on the other side for a day that I can deal with it, because today is not that day. We are getting a little bit of rain now, so I mean it's real light, but it looks like it's supposed to kind of be on and off for the rest of the evening here, and it's gonna start to get dark soon anyway. This has taken way longer than I expected, but so I've got a pen all set up here. It's bedded down, it's got hay. I'm just gonna have to get water in there tomorrow. Then over here I reconfigured this pen so it's about 12 feet shorter than it was. So one of the groups will go in here. The group that's getting grain and getting flushed will go on this side, and then this is much shorter than it had been, and then one of the breeding groups will go here. I am gonna get them all in the barn and paint them all. I'll try to get gates set up tonight yet, as long as the rain stays pretty light. But in case I just cannot get to sorting, I'm gonna run them in there, spray paint them all, so when I go to sort them, I'm just moving the gate back and forth and I don't have to constantly check my clipboard. I mean, the majority of them I have in my head and I know what I want, but there are 60 does in there, so I should probably just do it with my clipboard to make sure. Good morning. Well, I ran out of storage on my SD card at the same time as Peanut ran through my tripod and smashed it to pieces yesterday. So, so I am going to get these guys sorted today. As you can see, I've got them all different colored marks on their backs, so I can sort them into groups. It is not nearly as warm as yesterday and it is very windy today. So I had 2 does last night that were in heat, and I thought if I don't get them in with a buck, they're going to be 21 days into the breeding season. Sometimes they'll cycle sooner when you put them in with a buck, but I really didn't want, I want it to be a tight breeding, so I actually grabbed my little brown guy and threw him in that pen over by the cattle last night to breed those 2. One of them I was not gonna breed to him, but I only had 1 pen and it was what it was. She apparently thinks she's a Jersey. Shrimpy, what you doing? Are you being a goon? Move! Mira! Every day, she just lays there. So my husband actually bought a backup camera to install in the skid loader. He was like moving dirt and stuff. Oh, it was around that shed, and I was kind of out over on the side over here, and Mira kept like going over by him, and the dogs do kind of frequently lay in the vicinity that we're working, especially when it gets close to feeding time, because they don't want you to forget to feed them. At one point, he was backing up a little farther than he had been while he was moving stuff. And she saw him. I saw her look up at him, and she just laid there because she's like, well, he wouldn't run me over. And I went like tearing across the yard, like screaming and flailing my arms. And I don't know what made him stop. If he ended up like, if he was able to see part of her, or if he saw me screaming or what, but I mean, he was like inches from hitting her. So he, that night, put one in the Amazon cart right away. Hasn't had time to install it yet, but I mean, the other two are much, much better, but she's, I don't know, like she just doesn't worry about it. Good morning. It is clean out day. I have got does kidding in about 10 days. Last week would have been perfect weather to clean this out because there was still a little bit of frost in the ground and we could get to the manure pile easily, but I didn't want too much time to lapse for the pen to get dirty before kidding. However, now it's pretty soft, so we'll see how this works. Yesterday we went and we found a pretty good deal on a used but really gently used grapple bucket. And I think that's gonna make cleaning these out a whole lot easier. What ends up happening is when you go to scoop, it all kind of falls off the front. So I typically use the bale spear to kind of go up to the bunk and like lift that all up, and then I can go back in with the bucket and scoot it up. But I think this is gonna save us some time, and my husband's pretty happy to have it to use for like clearing out brush and logs and all that kind of stuff. So we need to get all this stuff out of the yard and reconfigure and see if we can get to the manure pile, and if we can't, we're gonna have to just dump a pile on the concrete. So my husband is unloading that bucket right now, and we're gonna get to it. He's still hoping to get to work this afternoon and get a few hours in, but he pretty much cleared the day so that he could help me with this. Well, we've got the one group all cleaned out, comfy in their new bedding. Something came up, my husband had to leave. We're not sure how long he's gonna be gone. Hour, 2, 3, who knows. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the second side here. We still did have to do quite a bit of shoveling in the corners, and this side is even deeper. It did work a lot better though. That grapple bucket did save a ton of time. So hopefully I can get the hang of it. I don't really like learning new equipment. When you learn something new, you have to think about it so hard, otherwise it's just mindless. But I'm more worried about getting stuck because it's getting pretty mucky up by the manure pile. The path to get up there is pretty slippery. The weather can't really decide what it wants to do today. I mean, I think I've changed clothes multiple times, and I just went in to eat something, and I had been in a tank top prior to going in, and now I came back out and the wind picked up and it's really cold. So I'm not sure what's going on.